Everybody wants to be successful, and yet we all have different ideas of what that is. Finding success is the journey we embark upon to go and get what's ours. We are willing to travel down within to find our greatness buried deep inside of us, questioning society's views and flipping the script, putting our own stamp on life. We're here because our future is within our control. Finding success is how we grab hold of what is possible. The relentless pursuit of success starts here.
We are Finding Success. We're here to break the monotony of your life and help you find your version of success. Welcome back, guys, to another episode with me, Adam.
And me, Alex.
How you doing, Alex?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you, mate.
Good.
It started to rain here, so I'm not as happy as what I was before it was raining. But
Yeah, but we got in when it was dry.
yeah,
That's right.
so I'm happy.
Sorry if you can hear the rain on the recording. It's not...
No, you won't. Trust me.
Not reckon?
I'm mega like that. So, today's episode. Straight
Yes.
into it.
Straight in. Okay, this is going to be about has the world's attitude changed?
And it sounds pretty straightforward, really.
I've had enough of going.
Yeah, exactly. We could say it with one word, couldn't we? We could say, well, in my point of view, yours might be different. I'm going to answer your question.
You're going to answer me a question.
I'm going to answer your question.
Oh, answer my question.
That's right. Now, and I'm going to say yes, it has.
Well, that was a very quick episode. 53 seconds at the minute.
But from when? Now, we're talking about in our lifetime. Because we know for well that, you know, from 1900 to the 21st century, the world's attitude has changed completely with regards to sex, relationships, you know, how open people are nowadays compared to what they were like back in the day.
Yeah, that's not even subjective. That is
No, yeah, it's completely. It has
blatant.
changed. Full stop.
Yeah.
The way that we dress as human beings now, compared to what we did to what we do now. I'm talking about our lifetime. I'm talking about our lifetime. Is it maybe even in our working career? You know, the 10, 12 years that we've currently worked.
Oh, okay.
In our career.
So the short term, essentially.
The short term.
Okay.
And I want to. The reason I'm talking about this is
The 21st century. From the beginning of the 21st century, 2000.
Yeah.
Between now, you think it's
changed.
this is what we're talking about. Okay.
Drastically. Yeah. I think
Just
it's
so
changed
we're all
drastically.
on the same page. Us, you listeners, legends, bunch of legends.
Absolutely.
Carry on.
It's changed from my point of view dramatically. Podcasting didn't exist, and now we're talking to the world. By the way, did you see our... Sorry, getting off topic, guys. Did you see the amount of world that we're covering now?
Yeah.
Mate, you just...
Russia, Mexico,
Look,
America,
mate, when you,
Australia.
Oh, mate.
We
Ghana.
see you listening, guys.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's amazing.
We love you all.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you
We
for
do love
listening.
you all. Yeah, getting openly out to people, getting our message across to people. Before, for instance, going back, Think and Grow Rich. That book was like the staple of how to become wealthy, wasn't it, back in the day? Now, you can find anyone on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, through a separate course, and they can provide value to you at a free cost, which is what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
We're openly providing value. Back in the day, you could never do that. And I think the reason that has happened, it's changed people's lives dramatically in the way that we view things.
Hang on, back in the days in 2000, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't around, was it? Podcasting didn't exist back in the day.
They're not.
No. I think 2009 or 10 was the first episode of podcast.
Well, no, you're probably right, because YouTube was 2005, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a very good point. Yes, you're right.
But it just goes to show that now we're providing value and people are learning faster. People have technology in front of their eyes every single day. People's attitude it's going to change. More people are learning things than what they were back in the late 90s.
Late 90s, well, even in the 20th century, so 1900s to 2000.
Yeah.
What you learned was through your family or through your village.
Yeah.
Your
word of
school.
mouth for a book.
Yeah, through books. That was the best, or the most, I don't know, what would you call it?
It's probably a common place to go for knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was the most widespread information coming into because you wouldn't necessarily leave your local city.
No, exactly.
You'd just be surrounded by the same people all the time because you wouldn't need to. You know.
Yeah. But I also want to talk about not only learning, I want to talk about people's attitude in general. I'm really going to get like old granddaddy on this, but what I'm talking about watching out for people.
Okay.
Watching out for friends, watching out for family, being there for friends. General, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Doesn't really happen nowadays. And I find it, maybe some people out there are going to say, no, you're wrong. It happens every single day. I'm the nicest bloke in the world. And I'm sure you are. But just take a look to your left and to your right and ask yourself the same question once you've done it. Because I guarantee you don't come back to me with the same answer. I guarantee you might say, I am the nicest bloke in the world. And there's a lot of nice people out there, but old Jimmy Davidson, he's a right pain in my bum. He doesn't do anything for me. I do everything for him. I drive his van. I help him do the shopping. And what does he give me in return? Nothing. Back in the day, I think you'll find that people helped each other a bit more and covered things up. For instance, if you had a problem at work, someone would cover for you. Nowadays, they'd go run into the boss and say, "Oh, he's left 2 minutes early. You got to sack him because he's not doing his job properly." For instance, something at work happened. I'm not going to go into it.
This is what this episode's really about, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not going to mention.
He's having a rant about work.
I'm not going to mention, but all I'm saying is people change and things change, and that's fine. And I think our attitude has changed massively in relation to the complete world. I'm not talking about ours. I'm talking about everything.
Mm-hmm. Globally.
Respect for each other is a massive one in my point of view. Respecting your peers, respecting family, respecting friends.
Respect for just even strangers has dropped.
Being happy.
We're all become so isolated in our own worlds.
Yeah.
I can't say if it was different back in the day. As in when I'm saying back in the day, for some reason, in my head I'm thinking, instead of 2022, I'm thinking 1922. Obviously, completely different world back then.
Yeah.
Wars, etc. So you were a bit more united with your local, you just fellow countrymen. Because you're
your neighbours.
Yeah, because it's you had to be, didn't you?
Yeah.
But now we're not under that sort of threat. Even though Russia, Ukraine's going on, we're not under that sort of threat where
life can dramatically change in a matter of seconds.
Yeah. Half the village has gone off to fight.
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't know why I keep reverting back in the 1900s. Yeah. I need to keep focused on today. But talk to us about your story about the military, geezer. You were just telling me about before recording. Sorry. You're saying, I think it was Ant Middleton. He goes to a bar.
Great book, yeah, sorry. So if you haven't already, guys, by the way, plugging his book. Great book on positive. I'm not sure what the actual title's called, but I've just finished it. It's a mega book. And he talks about his early life. So when he first went into the military, I think he was 17 when he first got in. And when you walk in there, it's a big, not social, what would you call it? It's quite big shoes to fill. You have to grow up fast. If you're going in at 16, 17, you have to grow up fast. You have to make sure your bed's tidy. You have to make sure that you're clean and tidy, that you're presentable, that you're doing the right thing. You're strong, you're fit, you're willing to go. It's a hard thing to know. Now, as you progress, you build a brotherhood from time to time. You build a brotherhood with those people that you basically live with. You look to your left, you look to your right. If you go into war, no matter what happens, at all costs, you're going to protect your brothers and sisters. At the end of the day, they're going to protect you and you're going to protect them. You're there as a unit to go to war and protect each other. As he goes through his journey in his career, he comes across some people that aren't as friendly and as willing as what he first found out. He then began to get bullied, but he found a group of people that weren't as friendly as what he expected. Certain people were making life hard, and not respective as in flipping his bed over or bullying him or anything like that, but just not being friendly, just not being brothers or sisters. They're just trying to make life hard because they can. And then you leave the army. Your friends and family know that what you've done, say if you've been to war, so on and so forth, you left the army and you go to a pub, and say some friends that you went to school with were there, and you went to, you've gone to the pub with two army friends from your unit, and you just have to sit in there having a quiet beer. I think in early 2000s, if your friends knew that you just come out of the army, and, for instance, you fought for the country, in whatever country you believe in, or however many prospects that you believe in, you fought for the country, I think they'd celebrate with you. They'd buy you a beer. They'd say, thanks for your service, mate, I appreciate it, I'm sure you've lost friends and family along the way, and I have too, but I'm appreciative of what you've done for us. Thank you very much. Nowadays, if Ant Middleton or anyone at the military walked into a bar, so they've got camis on, they walk into a bar, 9 times out of 10, rather than someone buying you a beer, they see their friends look around, they want to fight you because they want to be the strongest person in that bar. If you fight a military person, they know how to handle themselves, how to throw people, how to punch people, how to control their body weight, how strong they can be.
Some of them are trained to kill, man, like with bare hands.
Yeah, that is the training that they do.
Yeah.
But, you get Johnny Davidson, who thinks he's the biggest man in the pub and wants to show that he's the strongest person around. He's going to want to start a fight with you. And I don't understand how that happens. I don't understand where the respect has gone in that respect. It might be me just being personal, but he says it in his book that he openly avoided going to the pub and was looking for the quietest place to go and have a drink and have a meal with his family and friends. Because every single time he went there, he'd just get grief from people. I don't know about you, but that just seems completely wrong to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I see that. Where has that come from? Why is that ego of the everyday man?
Yeah, how has it already started? And I think, social media has a big part of it.
I was going to say it's something to do with just being able to watch people fight going, I could do that.
Yeah. Not only that, hate comments. Producing hate towards someone now in social media is so common. You come across it every single day.
And every post. Mate.
People that are growing in life who have shown and producing a journey, they have hate comments all the time. But they turn it into positivity, and that's why they continue to grow. But those people that are doing the hate comments are the people that want to bring that person down. They're the people that want to start the fight in a meal or a restaurant or a pub or so on and so forth. They're the people that will continue just to bite at someone's success for no reason. They're the people that will dislike a video on YouTube rather than click the like button. They go out their way to cause harm to someone. They go out their way to cause negativity.
So how have we developed that? Is it because there's the option to? Have we done wrong by allowing there to be a dislike button? Have we all focused too much on the like button?
That's a very good point, yeah.
Why is it all of a sudden? Because you're right, back in the day, the reason why it didn't happen is because the availability wasn't there. People weren't able to dislike. You just got on with your own life. You weren't really bothered about what anyone else do in the village over or the next country. Nobody cared. So no one ever spreaded that sort of hate. So hate maybe wasn't about as rampantly as it is.
It wasn't open, yeah. It wasn't openly said.
Yeah, exactly. You just bitch about your neighbour, bitch about your mate at school or your colleague at work, and that was the most hate you had because there wasn't that international, worldwide spec where you just hate someone you know you're never going to come into contact with. And is that where it started from? From the ability to like, and I don't know.
I think you might be right. It just blows my mind that nowadays, rather than, and I'm not talking about everyone because it's not true that everyone does this, but rather than supporting our fellow colleague, our fellow work member, rather than supporting them on their journey or supporting them or maybe even helping them out, we're going out openly to pull them down. We're going out openly. For instance, it's just look around you guys. I'm being serious. Look around you, and if you don't do it, I'm sure some of your friendship group do. You walk into work, and there's going to be some bad words said about some person's journey, or what they're doing, or what they've done to their hair, or what they've dressed like, if they've put on weight, if they've lost weight, and that's fine. That's gossiping. But it's when it goes to the fact of that I hate what he's wearing today. He looks stupid. He's useless. He needs to be sacked. Like doesn't need to be said in a group of people. If you think that, just keep it in your head. But be polite to that person. At the end of the day, they've still got feelings. I mean, it was Mental Health Week of the week. Frank Bruno came in to talk. Frank Bruno, you don't to me, I don't know who Frank Bruno is. Guys, go and send him some hate comments. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Frank Bruno, if you don't know who Frank Bruno is, Frank Bruno was one of Britain's greatest boxers of all time. He's massive in boxing. I think he had a fight against Mike Tyson.
Oh.
And he hit him hard. He had Mike Tyson's shock. So Frank Bruno is a mega, mega, mega person. And if you don't know the battle with mental health that he had, through drugs and alcohol and relationships and whatever, then go and do some research. Amazing bloke, amazing geezer. And he's got some great stories to tell. But just seeing that person go through that battle of mental health, and it's been worsened by people around him. People, family and friends that he thought that he could trust, were there spreading rumours, were there selling stories to the papers, were there making it worse. And that should not happen. It shouldn't have happened. People shouldn't go behind his back to make money. They should be there supporting him. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense at all. Why should we make money off someone's sorrow, if someone's downfall? We shouldn't do that.
So as a world, are we falling to greed and selfishness? Are we forgetting that? Are we just looking out for number one? Is that too much looking out for number one?
I think,
just
yeah.
Becoming greedy.
I'm not saying
selfish.
that everyone is.
No. Not
but I'm just saying...
As a collective,
yeah.
we're generalising massively.
Yeah, of course we are.
We're not saying this minority group is really nasty. It's just, as what we're seeing from the world.
From our point of view.
This is another thing. Don't forget, like the people that aren't hating all that sort of stuff probably aren't on social medias. So we're not seeing it. They're not on the YouTubes. They're not commenting. That's probably why we see it a lot more, because the people that want to do that have always wanted to do that. It's just now they've got a platform.
It's
that's
readily
visible
available
by
to do
everybody.
it.
Yeah. And the people that are above it just really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, how often have you ever disliked a video
No.
on YouTube? Or
No, I think
have you
it's
ever
stupid.
put a hate comment? Of course you haven't. Because you understand it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you don't agree with an opinion, just go, well, YouTube will say, and just scroll up.
Yeah.
If you don't like something you've
it's
seen
done.
on the internet, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
It's finished.
lose my... So these people have been about. Do you remember pointing at you all aggressive and getting angry?
Yeah, I know. It's
Sorry.
making me feel sad.
I remember someone would swear on the BBC. This is back in the day when I was younger. And then they'd be, oh, sorry, we're so sorry. It was compliments, I created when they were live,
Yeah.
Apologise for some swearing. They're like, we're so sorry about that. We'll make sure this doesn't happen again, yada, yada, yada. And then they go, the next morning, it's like, we've had 7,000 complaints from people writing in. Those people still exist.
You're true. Yeah, you're very right.
They just wanted to put their point across. And is that something we're not? That's always been there. Is it people just not feeling important in their day-to-day life, so they
have to find something that makes them feel important?
Is that
maybe you're right? Maybe you are right. Yeah.
I don't know. But also going back to what you said slightly earlier, have our social skills changed? Because if you are trying to be the alpha dog in a bar with some like squaddies in there, you're an idiot trying to take them on.
Yeah.
Jesus. But have our social skills changed to go from being able to have a cool conversation and buying them a drink, thanking them in an appreciative way, to being like, oh, the only way I can interact with them is being an arse?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Have we morphed into the, I don't know, toxic?
And I think, again, I'm going back to it, I think social media's aided this form of life, because from people going out and talking about going to the bar, having drinks and having a good time and seeing family and friends, being extroverted, we're now happily can be introverted. We can now happily sit in our house and watch Netflix all night and not talk to anyone. And sometimes that's people's lives. That's how they live, and that's fine. You can live your way that you want to live. That's fine. But that being readily available, I think that produces, when someone has a confrontation, it makes things worse, because they don't understand how to act or react to a confrontation, to a person. They don't understand how they can communicate properly. They just see a film, Jackie Chan, and think, I need to beat him up because he's tried to...
That's what happens.
That's what happens, yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah.
They don't have real-life conversations. And I think, especially, again, the younger generation, I'm not singling anyone out, but the younger generation who's been brought up around social media and, YouTube and Twitter and platforms and stuff that are openly, readily available, maybe they're not allowed to be in those situations anymore. Like our parents, for instance. Mate, how many fights did you get involved in or witnessed at school? Loads. Absolutely loads. I'm not sure fights really happen at school anymore, because everyone's either on their phone or, they're just doing something else.
Do you reckon?
I don't know. People with
Let
kids.
us know.
Let us know. But do you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I used to fight to have fun at school. Like not as in like a bad way, but we just like, do you want to go around and have like a little not
Scrap.
punch?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Just a little pull around and do you know what I mean?
Bundles
because we were
and stuff.
bored. Yeah. Not because we wanted to, but you understand how to handle yourself then. And 10 seconds later, when someone's crying or it's all over, you shake hands and you walk off and you have a good laugh. Do you know what I mean?
Grass stained shirts.
Yeah, it's done. Do you know what I mean? But nowadays, I don't know, I'm not singling people out, but I'm not sure if it happens anymore.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not down with the kids very much.
No, none of us are.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean, though?
Things-
It's just, I don't know.
Our focus.
Our general focus towards other people, our general willingness to help other people, our happiness, our involvement in the human race, our just general openness. And, for instance, if you went around your neighbours and asked for some sugar, you wouldn't feel awkward at all back in the day.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you've done it, you feel a bit, I don't really know my neighbour. I don't really want to knock on their door and ask for sugar. Because are they going to give it to me? Are they likely? Do they want to give me sugar? Do they have sugar in their house? Yeah, do you know what I mean? There's so many other factors that we can play into because the world's evolved.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
By the way, guys, this is a free-flowing episode, and I want you to comment because this is my point of view.
Give us a hate comment.
Do it because it makes me be more positive. But this is my own point of view. Alex has got his own point of view, but just let us know how you feel because it just.
Yeah, do you guys feel like the world's changed? Have you noticed a difference, however old you are, whether you're 12 or 60? Let us know. Have you noticed a change in the world? And is it social media? Because have you seen the photos of the subways in America back in the day? Nowadays, everyone's on phones. Back in the day, they're all in newspapers.
Yeah, newspapers or books, yeah.
There are some things that haven't changed. We are just a human trait. Because it's a tough conversation. Because there's so many variables. Humans are so complex.
Yeah, we're complex people. Complex minds, complex animals.
So we're going into a population decline.
Yes, it's coming up very fast.
Rapidly running out, or we're not reproducing at the right rate, or the correct rate to even maintain. We're actually reducing at the minute.
Yeah.
Could that be something to do with this attitude change?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is it?
Not offend anyone. Tinder dating apps are very readily available, but people are looking there now for fun. They're not looking there for relationships. People aren't openly going seeking boyfriends or girlfriends. They're just seeking fun.
Yes.
Back in the day, how frowned upon would that have been?
Yeah.
To openly seek fun. I'm not going to say it didn't happen because it happened.
Yeah, 100%.
Of course it happened. But to openly seek a relationship that didn't have a meaning was completely different to what it is now.
Yes.
For instance, I'm going to go back into 60s. If you fell pregnant, 9 times out of 10, you had to get married.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you fall pregnant, it's a common it just happens. It's the way of life. And if you want to have a kid, that's fine. It's perfectly normal. I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying I'm old-fashioned, but it just goes to show how fast the world's changed.
It has, and that's it's changed along with, as you said at the beginning. We're more accepting of gay people and bisexual people and all those different. What is it? LGBT
sexualities. Yeah.
Sexuality. We're completely open to them, and it's still not perfect. We're not saying it's perfect, but it is 10 times better than it was 50 years ago.
Completely agree.
Without a doubt. So we are changing in that sense. That's what's changed this openness about the likes of having fun through Tinder and so on and so forth. I think that's all changed as one image, isn't it? It's like people are much more accepting of. They're just much more willing to talk about sex as well.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Sex is a taboo subject, but.
It still is taboo, but nowadays we can openly talk about sex and be fine with it. Whereas back in the day, I'm going to tell you a funny story, and she's going to hate me for this. Basically, I went on holiday last year, and I went with my someone. I'm not going to say her name. Someone's grandparents, and they're quite old, 70 and 80. I'm not doing it, and basically. They want us to play cards because it's just a nice thing to do when you're away, and with the older generation, you want to play poker, 21 or whatever, and they want us to play cards. Well, the only cards I had on me were Greek sex cards, like sex positions on like the Greek cards,
playing cards.
Yeah, playing cards. So
they still had like 5 diamonds.
Yeah, just with a sex position
on their back, on the front.
On the front. Yeah, so on the card, so like 5 diamonds, and I'll say your sex position 6,
right.
and it was like
what,
with
a set of cards.
Yeah, it was mega. A friend bought them for me, and I was like, I had these, and I'm not kidding. When I pulled the cards out, the old man laughed. He thought it was brilliant. Grandma was having none of it. Put them cards away! Like she did not want to see them cards, and it just goes to show that her daughter was a bit more open to it. Right. She's still in the older, born in the mid-70s, for instance. But for us now, that is normal. We could play with these cards and not think anything of it. We just play with them. Yeah. But it just goes to show how things have changed.
Yes, definitely. Within 3 generations.
Yeah.
It's almost done a backflip.
Completely flipped. And I think people's attitude have as well towards other people.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Has that been the front runner for all these changes, like sexuality? Has that been the main driving force behind again everything? Our attitudes on social media, our hatred for other people. Is it come from sexual openness? Is that the word for it?
Well, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. I'm not sure.
With sexuality, is that been the driving force? Because who knows?
People, it's just, for instance, just go out there and be more friendly with people. I think that's all it is.
Is that what you're trying to get?
I think so. It just offends me that people are really unhappy nowadays, and we're lucky to be able to listen to this podcast, and we don't have to try to find water. We don't have to starve every day. We're fed 3 meals a day. If the majority of people who listen to this podcast, the majority of people have got 3 meals a day. We don't have to openly seek water. We don't have to openly, we've got a very comfortable life. Just go out and share that with people, whether that's charity, whether that's a smile, whether that's opening the door for someone, whether it's saying hello, good morning. Just go out and do it. I think it just makes a big change on people's lives.
A smile goes a long way.
Yeah, it does. Anything else to add?
No.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, links will be down below. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week.
Success is available for everybody, so why should you settle for less?